No, this is cool. Yeah, I like I said, like I was just talking about some stuff earlier with you, like kind of just chatting and Twitter and stuff and DMing, and and yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with anything, but it's got a weird twist to it, man. It's got like a weird feel, doesn't it?
Does have a weird feeling because it's taken so seriously. And like in the United States, a lot of people don't know. Maybe they don't know. Jared's Canadian man. But here in the States, we've got Trump who's trying to get the establishment Republicans. They didn't really like him, but he's trying to get help to the fucking us poor folks, I guess, people who make like less than $100,000 essentially, and who are out of work at the moment. Yeah, he's dealing with a Republican Senate and Congress who are both, they're trying to get like fudge out of the bill, and so are the Democrats. They're trying to like juice up this coronavirus bill to get all kinds of pork out of it, and it's just stupid at a time like this to even pull shit like that. And every single Democrat voted no against that bill. It's just oh my god. If people don't start making money and they're being forced to stay at home, it's not going to be a good situation.
No, man, that's what I was saying. And in Canada, I don't know if you heard about this too, but they're boycotting. There's like a trend on Twitter saying that they should like boycott Giant Tiger, which is like a giant chain here, because one of the guys here, like one of the politicians, Scott Reed, his family,
Yeah.
they own Giant Tiger. But this guy, this politician, Scott Reed, I guess he and a few other, his cronies or whatever, they denied the bill here that was being put across to like give everyone, I'm looking at it now,
$82 billion
redefine.
economic aid package in the House of
Yeah,
Commons. So I'm reading it right now too.
he would not allow it to go ahead. Yeah, he wouldn't allow it. And I mean, like you said, people need to fucking go back to work. Even like Trump said it, and I mean, he's not like, he's not the guy to, uh, fucking go right by, heart and soul or anything. But I mean, like, people need to go do something, man. People are getting like, they're getting crazy, and
Well,
it's going to
people
be
are,
longer
yeah,
than 2 weeks.
people are
Like
saying,
it's
they'll
it's
be
it.
like, no, it's like people are saying, how can you value the economy over people's lives, man? And it's like, dude, because people's lives are affected hugely by the economy. It's like, what good does that $1,000 do or $1,500 do? Which, yeah, that'd be great to have right now, being forced to stay at your house. But what good does that do if a lot of that aid doesn't also get passed on to these giant ass corporations who employ millions of people collectively, right? So that's like
Yeah,
something that we were dealing with as they were saying, "Oh, there's too much pork in there for corporations," and people are so narrow-minded that they don't understand that a corporation is made up of so many people. It's not just like when they say a company's worth billions of dollars, they mean the employees too. It's not, it's what good's the business without the people to work for you too, right?
exactly. It's all levels, right? So like, of course, the businesses need money in order to run the business, in order for us to work at the businesses. Like that's just how it is. But you're right, people don't see it like that because they're thinking about just what they can get for themselves because they don't know. Like I said earlier to someone that people are being, I think, trepidatiously just kind of waiting,
Right.
and I I I don't know if they're being like submissive to it. Like I don't know if it's a submissive society because I think everything was kind of like instituted like immediately, man. Like I mean everyone knew that it was happening, but I mean how quick like everything just gets shut down like economically. It just shows how much of like a farce everything is.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
like
That whole
it doesn't.
constitution thing is like kind of just a guideline. That's what it kind of feels. It almost feels like the Wizard of Oz, right? When the curtain gets pulled by Toto, and you're like, "Holy shit,
Yeah,
dude! This constitution's just a fucking piece of
like
paper."
it's not real. None of it's real. It's never been real. And we want it to be real because there's a comfort in that, obviously, and we're all just. But I mean, like I said again, like, what are you gonna do about it, man? Like, are we all just gonna get together and have it be like a Mad Max Fallout revolt against like the government, or are we gonna just go back and like? 'Cause I mean, 2 weeks isn't too long, but we know it's gonna be longer than that, right? Like, we know
Hmm.
it's gonna be till like June. We know it's going to be to July. Like, but places
Yeah.
can't be closed for that long, man. So like, what's going to happen? They're
I think
issuing like cards now. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're issuing those um, like they're issuing, like you said, like the allowances. So they're gonna
hmm
just, I think, start giving people these like government allowances, and they're gonna allow them just to spend money at certain businesses that they deem essential. I think they're gonna close down a lot of places, man. Like I think I don't know
right.
if that was the intent or not, but
I think
by
I think this is
you
forcing a
know,
lot of people's idealism to meet their pragmatism in the sense that like all these people who are out there like, you know what, dude, the government tries to tell me what to do. I'll be like, yo, bro, I got this fucking piece right here, man. 1776, baby. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit. If I
we
actually
actually
stand
got
up
to
against
do
this
it.
government, I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna get fucking
Yeah,
shot right down. So,
we actually got to do it if we're gonna do it, and that's what I like. Again, it's I think everyone like we're that's why I'm like, are we being submissive or are we being trepidatious? You know, like is are we like uh are we just waiting? Because that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying like I'm packed, stacked, and ready to go by any means.
right.
Like I'm probably the first to go if people are gonna come and like get something from me in reality.
Like a Jew
But
in the Holocaust. You know, almost like
yeah,
just
it's not gonna be good, man. It's
it's kind of
not
how
gonna
it
be good
feels,
at
right?
all.
It's like you gotta
Yeah, yeah.
hide in your attic and
I'll
shit.
give whoever I need to give to get what I need to get. You know. Um,
That's how most people are.
but yeah, no, it's true, man. But like, it's weird though. Like it's like everywhere is shut. Everywhere's shut, man. Everyone's looking at everyone weird. You know.
Yep.
Even where I live, man. Even where I live in a small island, and like we're a small-minded place anyway, so you can only imagine how this is like affecting people. Everywhere is shut down here, and we only have like maybe at max 4 cases, 5 cases that they're telling us about.
Oh,
But
of
there's probably,
coronavirus.
yeah, corona, yeah. But there's probably more than five. There's got to be. If they're telling you there's five, then there's probably like 20.
Right.
You
Oh,
know.
or way
Um.
more. Yeah, way more. Because
Yeah.
who's gonna
Yeah.
come out and
Right.
say it? They're just gonna
Um.
be like, oh yeah, I'm just I got a fever. And who knows? Some
Yeah.
people might
Right.
not even exhibit symptoms, right?
That's another thing too. Like they're making. I heard there's rumors of if you have to be tested in order to be eligible to get these credits that they're giving you now. You know.
Oh, really?
Um,
Oh, that makes sense though. I
well,
get
it
it.
doesn't it though. You know, like because I mean you can't be just the average guy and go up and like apply for these credits. You have to have like proof that you have it or you've been tested at least. You know, to
Right.
prove that
Right.
you don't have it.
Well,
Um,
they're trying to
well,
at least if they're gonna give people money. To me, it's almost like a gun buyback program. Is what that sounds like. Is it's like, hey, listen, if what's our goal here? We want people to stop the spread, and we want them to not riot. All right, so what we're gonna do is if we find out if we get these guys over here to get a check and we test them out, and then we can fucking stop the spread. And then we're not paying to fight it. We're just paying to fucking you know keep this guy's belly full for a while. Seems like that would be the goal, but I know it does. I understand
it
your
seems like
trepidation.
on the level that seems like that's exactly that's what you should do, right? That seems like that's the right thing to do. Um, but
Principles,
I
but if
don't
you look at
know.
principles,
Yeah,
it's like why do I have to do this to get help from my government? That seems a little backward. I should get help regardless. If we're in a pandemic
if this
that's
is as
caused by
much of a thing as they
globalization.
say it is, yeah, right. Like if this is as big of a deal as they say it is, it should be. Um, but of course, people are going to scam it and stuff, so they do have to have some sort of like some preparedness and some precautions in place and stuff for that. But
Well,
I don't
Canada,
know. I
I
think the
imagine we have our fill of scam artists here, but Canada seems like they're so open-handed with giving help out to people, whether they are a citizen or not. Like I understand like where you live is a different place than Toronto or Montreal. Like it's because I believe me, I live in Michigan, right? And Detroit basically makes all the decisions for the entire state, even though I live a completely different lifestyle than somebody who's in the inner city, right? But my point is, I guess, like it seems like they're more willing to give help up there anyway, and they're going to those measures. They're even willing to be like, hey, listen, unless you give us a prick of blood, you're not getting this fucking check.
I don't know, man. Like we're like I said, we just talked about Scott Reed like denying that to go through. Like it's we're the
Weird,
same as the states, man. We're the same. It's
right?
not different at all. It's just that it seems to be a softer face. Like and it's that's all. I
You
don't
guys
see
are
any
what we would
difference.
be if we never had slavery, because you guys really didn't. Like so. We have to deal with
We
like
had
it'd
the
be so much.
Chinese, dude. I don't know. We had a lot of Chinese that built like the railroads and stuff up here.
Yeah, yeah,
And
but they didn't call it slavery, right? They paid them, and so it was like so
mm,
easy to be like, "Hey, man, we gave
it's
him a
different,
job."
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But with us, it was like, "No, you had chattel slavery. You bred them. You fucking beat them. You whipped them. You had the masters raped them, and so we have this whole ugly, nasty history that spirals back centuries, and it's so hard to be like, yeah, you're black, but dude, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, what about all that fucking? So that's where I feel like a lot of our racism comes from. And so anytime it's hard for us to make like a decision, like for instance, like trying to shut down the border, right? So many people think that Mexicans are just brown people, right? This is bullshit. There's white people, there's black people, there's Chinese people that live there. It's a country, not a race, right? The
Yeah.
border is on the country, not the race. And so it's so silly but if we would have had those types of policies earlier, then this type of virus shit, like, it wouldn't scare people to the extent it does. But we've been fucking mixing up with, I don't know, I'm going on a rant, but it's like, definitely, I mean, one of the positives that you can pull out of all this is that people might start making shit here. It might be a little more expensive, but it'll be made here. And then when shit like this happens, it won't be such a big deal.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just so uncertain, man. Like in reality, like you can like it's convenient that this all happened around like the March break time. Like I'm not trying to like say like I'm Alex Jones and I got like my like my tinfoil
Tinfoil
hat
hat
on,
on.
but like it's weird that it happened around this time where everything just gets shut down and people can't go anywhere and everyone seems to be fine with it. Like everyone is just okay with that. Like they're fine with these like Orwellian words like social distancing and like all this weird stuff and everyone's just okay. They're like we'll just stay home and we'll go out once a week. That's fine with us. Once every 2 weeks, that's fine. And we'll stay 3 feet away from each other. That's fine. And like it doesn't seem natural and but everyone's just like it's just I'm sitting there like I work still and like I work security and there's nobody around like
It's weird, right?
there's no reason yeah, there's no reason for me to be there, but I have to be there because naturally you would think there would be people that would be out doing some shit causing some trouble having some fun
Right.
um, because of the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? No one's around, um, but there isn't. So
There's
like
they're not hungry yet. That's why. When people
that's what
get
it is,
hungry,
I think. And
that's when the real beast will come out. When all
yeah,
these
like
people who
everyone was fine because they had a heads up to get their food. But I
hmm
mean, like I said, like it's gonna after 2 weeks, man. Like it's not gonna be pretty. Like in Total Recall, when that fucking fat bitch was at. Have you ever seen that
I
movie?
love Total Recall, dude. It was so corny.
Boots,
It
man.
was like all practical
It,
effects. I loved it. Are you kidding me? That was
yeah.
the one with the three-titted bitch. And my favorite part in that movie, well, there's my two favorite parts. When he's like, in the future, you will be. Like, that fucking part was awesome. And then the part when Schwarzenegger's eyes fucking were bulging out of his head. He's like, la, la,
Scared
la.
me so much. That scared me so much when I was young, man. I couldn't watch that scene. I had to like look away.
Yeah, dude,
Everything else I
or
was fine with, but like that scene was fucked, man. That scene
when he
was
pulled
crazy.
that fucking thing out of his like nasal cavity, it was like I was like,
Yeah.
because I was probably
He
like,
loved doing that, man. Why did he do that in so many movies? He did that in like the Terminator as well. He pulled that big fucking thing out of his nose in that too. Like he just
yeah,
liked fucking freaking people out, man.
he cut
I don't
he
know.
took a shard of glass in that Terminator movie or something, like a piece of steel, and like cut part of his face off and shit at the end. I can't remember, dude.
Yeah.
Judgment Day was one of the best fucking movies. I mean, especially for its time. Wow, was that movie fucking ahead of its time?
Oh man, it's so good even now. It doesn't even matter. Like it's always like the whole series is really good in general, but I mean obviously,
Right.
like different writers, different like actors to kind of like take you out of the whole like linear bit of the script they had going, right? But it's such a good series, man. It's
You
so
know
good.
what movie
So good.
ruined movies like that? You'll never guess. Maybe you will. But it's fucking Waterworld, man. Because what happened? Well, I don't know if you guys, or if I say you guys, because I know this is going to be on the air. But I don't know if you guys have ever seen or subscribed to this channel. It's, I think, Joe Blow videos. But he does like a what the fuck happened to this movie, and it's the coolest thing sometimes. And Waterworld was one of the things that he did.
The future. The polar ice caps have melted, and the Earth lies beneath a watery grave. Those who survived have adapted.
And Waterworld was like, I'm gonna look it up real quick. It was one of the worst fucking disasters. I'm gonna look up the budget ever.
I've never seen it. Is it like I mean, is it because it was like I mean I'm only guessing because is it because it was like an epic like and it cost a whole bunch of money but it was like a big flopperoo?
Kind of. It was. So what happened was in the '90s, you had these. How old are you, Griggy?
I'm 35.
Okay, so I'm 30. I'm 32. You're around my age. So like I'd have been a freshman, you'd have been a senior type of situation. But
Pretty
anyway,
much, yeah.
So in the '90s, you had giant sets. It was just at that time it was
Was the thing to do,
the
yeah.
cheaper option than CGI, because CGI it looked horrible at that time still, right? So people were like, okay, we're gonna build these big sets just like people have been doing forever. We're gonna have practical effects. We're gonna have all these stuntmen. We're gonna have fucking, we're gonna actually go out and buy all these fucking things and build them. And so this movie fucking, they ended up spending like 235 million bucks, and it flopped at the. I mean, now I think it's recovered like 88 million. It says right here at the box office, but still, it was just a big nasty flop. They had to rebuild the set like twice because it caught on fire. But this dude's got fucking gills, right? And so he drifts around the entire fucking world and like dives and grabs fucking sand from like New York City and shit. But I don't know, man. So ever since then, dude, people said,
Yeah.
"Fuck that! I'm gonna do CGI every fucking time," and it's changed the way that the whole film industry is. The whole direction of the film industry.
Yeah, no, it's changed it completely, man. I 100% agree with you on that for sure.